Before we get started, if you enjoy this type of content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more terrifying content. 10 terrifying true paranormal encounters to keep you up at night. 1. The Whispering Woods Incident. In the heart of rural Alabama, there lies a dense forest known locally as the Whispering Woods. It's a place children are warned not to enter, a place where the trees seem to murmur secrets to each other. In the fall of 1998, a group of friends decided to spend a weekend camping in these woods, lured by the thrill of a spooky adventure. The first night was uneventful, filled with typical campfire stories and laughter. But as the group settled into their tents, the forest came alive. Faint whispers surrounded them, growing louder as the night deepened. It wasn't long before the whispers turned into eerie, disembodied voices calling their names. One of the friends, David, decided to investigate. Armed with a flashlight, he ventured into the woods, his friends' pleas for him to stay falling on deaf ears. Minutes turned into hours, and David didn't return. When the remaining friends finally worked up the courage to search for him, they found his flashlight, still on, but no sign of David. Local legends tell of spirits that lure unsuspecting victims into the woods, never to be seen again. The group left the Whispering Woods the next morning, vowing never to return. To this day, David remains missing, his disappearance adding another layer to the chilling lore of the Whispering Woods. 2. The Phantom of Route 66. Route 66, the iconic highway stretching across the United States, is known for its scenic landscapes and nostalgic charm. But a lesser-known fact is its haunted reputation. Truck drivers and travelers have reported sightings of a mysterious hitchhiker, a woman in a tattered white dress, appearing on the side of the road. In the summer of 2010, truck driver Mike Sullivan was making his usual cross-country trip along Route 66. As he passed through a particularly desolate stretch in Arizona, he saw her, the hitchhiker. She stood motionless, her eyes vacant, her hand outstretched. Against his better judgment, Mike pulled over and offered her a ride. The woman climbed into the passenger seat without a word. Mike attempted to strike up a conversation, but she remained silent, her gaze fixed on the road ahead. After a few miles, Mike felt a chill run down his spine as he glanced at the rearview mirror. The woman had vanished, leaving behind only a cold, lingering presence. Shaken, Mike shared his experience at a truck stop later that night. To his surprise, other drivers recounted similar encounters with the phantom hitchhiker. Some said she was the ghost of a woman who died in a car accident decades ago, eternally searching for a way home. Mike never saw her again, but he always felt a shiver whenever he drove down Route 66 at night. 3. The Haunting of Ashwood Manor. In the sleepy town of Ashwood, Virginia, stands an old Victorian mansion known as Ashwood Manor. Built in the late 1800s, it was once the home of the wealthy Ashwood family, who mysteriously vanished one night, leaving the house abandoned. In 2015, the manor was purchased by a young couple, Sarah and Mark, who hoped to restore it to its former glory. From the moment they moved in, strange occurrences began. Doors would open and close on their own, phantom footsteps echoed through the halls, and whispering voices could be heard late at night. One evening, Sarah was in the attic when she discovered an old, dust-covered diary belonging to Emily Ashwood, the youngest daughter of the original owners. The diary detailed the family's growing fear of a malevolent presence in the house. The final entry was a frantic scribble, warning that the house was cursed. Determined to uncover the truth, Sarah and Mark contacted a paranormal investigation team. The investigators spent a night in Ashwood Manor, capturing chilling evidence of the supernatural. EVP recordings revealed ghostly voices pleading for help, and thermal cameras detected cold spots and shadowy figures. The couple decided to leave Ashwood Manor, unable to live with the constant fear. The house remains vacant to this day, a silent reminder of the dark history that haunts its walls. 4. The Curse of Blackwater Asylum. Blackwater Asylum, located in the outskirts of Pennsylvania, was once a state-of-the-art facility for the mentally ill. But in the 1950s, after a series of unexplained patient deaths and brutal treatments, it was shut down and abandoned. Locals say the asylum is cursed, its halls filled with the tormented souls of those who suffered there. In 2017, a team of urban explorers decided to investigate the asylum, armed with cameras and recording equipment. As they entered the decaying building, they felt an overwhelming sense of dread. Graffiti covered the walls, and the air was thick with the smell of mold and decay. As the night wore on, the explorers began to hear strange noises, footsteps echoing in empty corridors, distant screams, and the sound of chains dragging across the floor. In the old infirmary, one of the team members felt a sharp pain in his side, as if he'd been stabbed. When he lifted his shirt, there were 3 deep scratch marks, fresh and bleeding. Terrified, the team decided to leave, but the asylum seemed to have other plans. Doors slammed shut, trapping them inside. Panic set in as they realized they were not alone. Shadowy figures darted in and out of the darkness, and a cold, malevolent presence followed them. Eventually, they found an open window and escaped, vowing never to return. Their footage, uploaded to YouTube, showed ghostly apparitions and unexplained phenomena, validating the asylum's cursed reputation. Blackwater Asylum remains a chilling destination for thrill seekers, but few dare to enter after dark. 5. The Ghost of Riverview Hotel. The Riverview Hotel in Mississippi, built in the early 1900s, has long been rumored to be haunted. Guests often report strange occurrences, lights flickering, disembodied voices, and the feeling of being watched. But the most infamous ghost story is that of Room 213. In 1923, a young bride named Elizabeth checked into the Riverview Hotel on her wedding night, only to be found dead the next morning, hanging from the chandelier in Room 213. Since then, guests who stay in the room report seeing a spectral figure of a woman in a wedding dress, weeping softly. In 2020, paranormal investigator Jessica and her team booked Room 213 for the night, determined to uncover the truth. They set up cameras and audio recorders, hoping to capture evidence of Elizabeth's ghost. As midnight approached, the temperature in the room dropped dramatically. Jessica felt a cold hand touch her shoulder, sending chills down her spine. The team's equipment began to malfunction, and the lights flickered uncontrollably. Suddenly, the figure of a woman in a tattered wedding dress appeared in front of them, her eyes filled with sorrow. She whispered, "Help me," before vanishing into thin air. Reviewing the footage later, the team found chilling EVP recordings of Elizabeth's voice, pleading for help and reliving her final moments. The haunting evidence was uploaded to YouTube, drawing thousands of views and sparking renewed interest in the Riverview Hotel's ghostly legend. 6. The Specter of Pine Hill Cemetery. Pine Hill Cemetery in New Hampshire is known for its eerie, overgrown graves and the legend of the Specter of Pine Hill. According to local folklore, the ghost of a Civil War soldier roams the cemetery at night, searching for his lost love. In 2016, a group of friends decided to spend Halloween night in Pine Hill Cemetery, hoping to catch a glimpse of the spectral soldier. Armed with flashlights and cameras, they ventured into the cemetery as the moon cast an eerie glow over the tombstones. Hours passed without incident, but just as they were about to leave, one of the friends spotted a shadowy figure among the graves. The figure, dressed in a tattered Civil War uniform, moved silently toward them. As they watched in stunned silence, the ghostly soldier stopped at a particular grave and knelt down, his face contorted in sorrow. The friends captured the encounter on video, which showed the figure fading away as dawn approached. They later learned that the grave belonged to the soldier's fiancée, who had died while he was away at war. Heartbroken and unable to find peace, his spirit continued to search for her. The video went viral on YouTube, drawing attention to the haunted history of Pine Hill Cemetery and the tragic love story of the spectral soldier. Visitors now flock to the cemetery, hoping to witness the ghostly reunion for themselves. 7. The possession of Brooksville House. In the quiet town of Brooksville, Florida, stands an old, dilapidated house with a dark past. Known as the Brooksville House, it was the site of a gruesome murder-suicide in the 1930s. Since then, the house has been abandoned, with locals claiming it is cursed and haunted by vengeful spirits. In 2018, paranormal investigator Tom and his team decided to spend a night in the Brooksville house, seeking evidence of the supernatural. As they explored the decaying rooms, they felt an oppressive presence, as if the walls themselves were closing in on them. In the basement, they found an old, blood-stained diary belonging to the house's former owner, detailing his descent into madness and the events leading up to the murder-suicide. As they read the diary, the temperature in the room plummeted, and they heard whispers and footsteps coming from the shadows. Suddenly, Tom felt an overwhelming urge to harm himself. He fought against the impulse, but the malevolent force seemed to tighten its grip on him. His team quickly intervened, pulling him out of the basement and into the safety of the main floor. Shaken but determined to continue, they set up their recording equipment, hoping to capture evidence of the haunting. Throughout the night, their cameras picked up unsettling phenomena. Shadowy figures moved across the rooms, objects levitated and were thrown across the room, and disembodied voices echoed through the house, repeating the phrase, "Get out." As dawn approached, the activity intensified. Tom, now fully himself again, noticed a figure standing at the top of the stairs. It was the ghost of the house's former owner, his eyes filled with rage and despair. The team recorded the encounter, capturing chilling footage of the ghost lunging toward them before vanishing into thin air. They left the Brooksville house at first light, their footage a terrifying testament to the house's haunted legacy. The video, uploaded to YouTube, quickly went viral, captivating viewers with its raw, unfiltered look at a genuine paranormal experience. The Brooksville house remains abandoned, a place of darkness that few dare to enter. 8. The Shadow of Blue Ridge. Nestled in the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina is a secluded cabin, known for its breathtaking views and, more infamously, its resident ghost. The cabin, built in the early 1900s, was the site of a tragic accident that claimed the life of a young girl named Lily. In the fall of 2021, adventure vloggers Emma and Jake rented the cabin for a weekend getaway. They planned to document their stay, unaware of the cabin's dark history. On their first night, they experienced strange occurrences, doors creaking open on their own, the sound of soft footsteps, and Lily's laughter echoing through the cabin. Curiosity turned into fear when Emma saw a shadowy figure standing at the edge of the forest. She called out to Jake, who managed to capture the figure on camera just before it disappeared. That night, they heard Lily's voice, pleading for help, and the cabin's temperature dropped to an unnerving chill. Determined to uncover the truth, Emma and Jake researched the cabin's history and learned about Lily's tragic accident. They reached out to a local historian, who told them that Lily's spirit was said to haunt the cabin, seeking closure and peace. The couple decided to hold a small memorial for Lily, hoping to help her find rest. They lit candles and read a heartfelt letter, addressing Lily directly. As they finished, calmness settled over the cabin, and for the first time, they felt a sense of peace. Their video, documenting the haunting and their efforts to help Lily, gained millions of views on YouTube. Viewers were captivated by the genuine emotion and eerie encounters, cementing Emma and Jake's status as top paranormal vloggers. 9. The Vanishing Tourists of Black Rock Desert. The Black Rock Desert in Nevada, known for its vast, barren landscape and the annual Burning Man Festival, holds a darker secret. Stories circulate about tourists who venture too far into the desert only to vanish without a trace. In 2019, a group of friends set out on an off-road adventure, eager to explore the lesser-known areas of the desert. They packed their gear and set off in their jeeps, documenting their journey for their YouTube channel. Everything was going smoothly until they stumbled upon an old, abandoned mining town. Curious, they decided to investigate the ghost town, which seemed frozen in time. As they explored, they found eerie remnants of the past, rusted tools, crumbling buildings, and faded photographs. The deeper they ventured, the more uneasy they felt. Shadows seemed to move in the corners of their vision, and the air grew thick with tension. As night fell, they set up camp near the town, intending to capture footage of any paranormal activity. Around midnight, they heard distant voices and saw flickering lights coming from the direction of the town. Grabbing their cameras, they cautiously approached, only to find the town empty and silent. Suddenly, one of the friends, Max, disappeared. Panic ensued as the group searched frantically, calling out his name. They found his flashlight and camera lying on the ground, but no sign of Max. Reviewing the footage, they saw a shadowy figure approaching Max just before the camera cut out. Terrified, the remaining friends decided to leave immediately. They made it back to civilization and reported Max's disappearance to the authorities. Despite extensive searches, Max was never found. Their video, showing the eerie events and Max's sudden disappearance, went viral, drawing attention to the mysterious vanishings in the Black Rock Desert. 10. The Wailing Woman of Lake Tahoe. Lake Tahoe, renowned for its stunning beauty and crystal-clear waters, also has a darker, more haunting side. Locals tell the story of the Wailing Woman, a ghostly figure said to appear on the lake's shores, crying out for her lost children. In the summer of 2020, travel bloggers Alex and Mia decided to investigate the legend for their YouTube channel. They planned a nighttime boat trip on the lake, equipped with cameras and audio recorders. As they set out, the lake was eerily calm, the full moon casting a ghostly glow on the water. Hours passed with no sign of the Wailing Woman. Just as they were about to head back, they heard a chilling, mournful wail echoing across the lake. They turned off the boat's engine and listened in stunned silence as the wail grew louder and more desperate. Alex and Mia scanned the shoreline and saw a faint, glowing figure in a long dress, walking along the water's edge. They recorded the sighting, capturing the figure's anguished cries. As they approached, the figure disappeared, leaving behind only the sound of the waves gently lapping against the boat. The couple later learned that the Wailing Woman was said to be the spirit of a mother who lost her children in a boating accident many years ago. Her ghost was believed to be eternally searching for them, her cries a heartbreaking plea for their return. Their video, featuring the eerie encounter and the haunting wails, quickly gained millions of views on YouTube. Viewers were captivated by the tragic legend and the genuine fear in Alex and Mia's voices. The Wailing Woman of Lake Tahoe remains one of their most popular videos, drawing countless curious souls to the lake in search of their own ghostly encounter.